The claim I'm responding to this evening is 3D is the next generation of entertainment. My opponent makes his point with three supporting claims. 1, 3D movies and television provide a more immersive experience that people today greatly desire. 2, 3D media today is now a higher quality than it ever has been. Now 3D movies are superior to the regular versions. And 3, the stereoscopic technology now is exceptionally powerful. His first claim, 3D movies and television provide a more immersive experience that people today greatly desire. He incorporates a supporting claim which states, we live in a world that is three-dimensional. Movies that use 3D closely represent our world. But according to Roger Ebert, an American screenwriter and film critic for the Chicago Sun-Times, when you look at a 2D movie, it's already in 3D as far as your mind is concerned. Our minds use the principle of perspective to provide the third dimension. Adding one artificially can make the illusions less convincing. Furthermore, according to Lenny Lipton, the founder of the Stereographics Corporation, he states, current digital projectors are intrinsically inefficient. Half the light goes to one eye and half to the other, which immediately results in a 50% reduction in illumination. Then the glasses themselves absorb light. The vast majority of theaters show 3D at between 3 and 6 foot lamperts. Now, a foot lampert is the unit of light which is projected by a projector without film interfering. A normal film projector provides about 15 foot lamperts, and IMAX theaters provide 22 foot lamperts. He continues, 3D images project poorly the film sequences. Along with that, Leonard Maltin supports this point. He is also a contemporary film critic. He states, 3D technology does not truly represent visually the experiences of our world, and therefore creates aesthetic distance. Now, aesthetic distance, as defined by Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, is the gap between a viewer's conscious reality and the fictional reality represented in a work of art. Now, we can see through the examination of expert testimony that 3D filmmaking contributes nothing of consequence to the cinematic experience. His second supporting issue is that the film Avatar, grossing $2.8 billion, shows that the 3D experience is something people around the world desire. But the existence of the film in 3D is negligible. According to the New York Times, James Cameron reported a budget of $500 million spent in getting Avatar to the theaters, over $200 million of which was spent in advertising campaigns. The question becomes whether Avatar's gross profits are indicative of a nation's love for 3D, or merely representative of a campaign budget which rivals most films. An example, Tron Legacy, a recent film, had a budget of only $200 million. His second point, 3D media today is now a higher quality than it ever has been. Now 3D movies are superior to their regular versions. This claim is completely dismissible. According to Lottie.com, a website which chronicles cinematic history, 3D visual gimmicks have been attempted since the age of silent movies, and on a large scale since the 1950s, with such movies as Hondo and Dial M for Murder. It was a gimmick implemented in response to a loss of ticket sales at box office due to the circulation of televisions into the American market. It did not last. Viewers suffered eye strain and headaches from watching films in 3D. We see the same problems which plagued 3D in the early 50s are the same problems we're running into over 60 years later. To state that the quality is better than before is mere logic. It is obvious that the better part of the century spanned between the advent of 3D technology and modern implementation would afford the industry some advancement. Yet there are still unmistakable problems. The latter part of my opponent's claim is a value statement which is based solely on his opinion, failing to provide supporting evidence, which makes it completely irrelevant. My opponent fails to clarify in which way 3D films are better. But if we were to assume that the overall quality of the film is better, the claim, again, fails to be valid. According to the official Academy Awards website, Oscar.go.com, out of the 10 pictures nominated for Best Picture, only one was offered in 3D, Toy Story 3. And out of the 82 years that the Academy Awards have been held, never once has Best Picture gone to a 3D picture. If we view the Academy Awards as the means by which objective artistic merit in films to be assessed, it becomes clear that 3D films are not better than traditionally filmed pictures. And lastly, his third claim that stereoscopic technology now is exceptionally powerful. Well, my opponent puts emphasis on the advent of glasses-free 3D movies and television, but the CEO of Sensio Technologies, a leader in stereoscopic development, states, "We have the technology for no glasses, but if I had to guess, it's probably 5 to 7 years away." Furthermore, the information my opponent provided stating that a Philips 52-inch glasses-free television would be released in 2013 is speculation. The Dimenco Corporation, which is the stereoscopic branch of Philips, reports a prototype to be released at the earliest 2013, with the CEO stating that we expect consumers to experience 3D digital photo frames without the need to wear glasses, but I'm afraid this will take a couple of years still to further optimize the technology. There is no doubt that stereoscopic technology has advanced from the days of silent films, but my opponent's claims of such technology dominating the consumer and cinematic market is loosely based on company projections, personal opinion, and sensationalism.
All right, you labeled the main points really clearly. Signposting as you got to each one was fine. On the first point, I thought you had 2 or 3 really good pieces of evidence that talked about the relationship of 3D images to the quality of the film. And in fact, you had a counterclaim on the one point about aesthetic distance. I think you need to make that claim first. It sounded a little bit like you were trying to let the evidence make the argument for you. The transition, the second point, was also good. I thought you had a nice analysis about the money that was brought in by Avatar. The issue about 3D quality on the next point you mostly dismissed based on the advocate's lack of evidence on those particular points. And then I thought you had a good reasoning on this notion that the fact that it's gotten better does not necessarily mean that it's gotten satisfactory. It's inevitably going to improve, but whether or not it meets the needs of consumers, I think that's a pretty reasonable question to ask. And then your challenge on the last point was, again, about the evidence that they presented. I thought you had a very efficient response on the stereoscopic 3D images, including evidence from the advocate, from a source that the advocate is likely to have cited about the long-term nature of, or development of this, which suggests that it's pretty speculative at this point, and you had a very good summary of what your position was. All right, thank you.